Here's what nobody tells you about discipline. It's not a personality trait. Most people spend their whole lives thinking they just aren't disciplined. They see others show up, follow routines, stick to commitments, and think, yeah, that's not me. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't something you are, it's something you build. It's a system, a set of mechanisms that make the right actions almost automatic. How many times have you said, starting Monday, I'm changing everything, only to fall off by Wednesday? The motivation fades, the habits slip, and you start wondering what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You just never had the system. Trying to be disciplined without a framework is like trying to build a house with no blueprint. You can get a few walls up, but the moment life gets hard, the whole thing collapses. So in the next 15 minutes, I'll walk you through the exact 7-step blueprint that turns discipline from something you try to do into something you simply are. No motivation games, no willpower battles, just a system that works. Let's build it. Step 1, the identity shift. Before you do anything else, you need to understand this. Your actions don't come from willpower, they come from identity. Most people approach discipline backwards. They focus on what they want to do. I want to work out every day. I want to wake up early. I want to study more, but they never touch the deepest layer, the foundation, who they believe they are. And here's the problem. You cannot consistently act in a way that contradicts your self-image. If deep down you believe you're someone who gives up, someone who never follows through, someone who's just not disciplined, then no amount of motivation will override that belief. Your identity always wins. So here's the shift. Stop trying to force actions. Start installing a new identity. Instead of saying, I'm going to start working out, shift to, I am someone who moves their body every day. Instead of, I need to be more consistent, anchor it. I'm someone who honors commitments I make to myself. You don't need to believe you're perfect. You just need one tiny identity thread that you protect with your life. Pick one statement. I am someone who shows up. I'm someone who finishes what I start. I'm someone who does hard things. Once you have that anchor, every disciplined action becomes proof. And proof builds identity. And identity drives more action. It's a flywheel. Here's what most people miss. You're not trying to act disciplined. You're becoming a disciplined person. And once you believe that about yourself, everything else becomes easier. Because disciplined people don't rely on motivation. They just do what disciplined people do. Step 2, the 2-minute rule. You've shifted your identity. Now let's talk execution. Here's the problem most people run into. They set goals that are way too big for their current discipline capacity. I'm going to study for 3 hours every day. I'm going to run 5 miles every morning. And then when they inevitably can't sustain it, they quit. And quitting reinforces the old identity. So here's the principle that changes everything. Make the habit so small that discipline has no friction. This is called the 2-minute rule. You're not trying to do the full version of the habit. You're just trying to show up. Because starting is the hardest part. Not the middle, not the end, the start. Here's what it looks like. Want to read more? Your disciplined habit is opening the book to page 1. Want to exercise? Your disciplined habit is putting on your workout clothes. Want to study? Your disciplined habit is sitting at your desk and writing the date at the top of your notes. That's it. 2 minutes, maybe less. And here's why this works. Once you're in motion, book open, shoes on, desk cleared, momentum takes over. Your brain shifts from, I have to do this to, well, I'm already here. Might as well keep going. But even if you don't keep going, even if all you do is a 2-minute version, that still counts. Because you showed up. You protected your identity. You reinforced the belief that you're someone who keeps promises. The rule is simple. Never let the full version of the habit stop you from doing the 2-minute version. Because a 2-minute workout is infinitely better than 0. And over time, those 2 minutes stack into something unrecognizable. Step 3, never miss twice. Now, let's talk about the rule that separates people who build lifelong discipline from people who restart every Monday. The rule, never miss twice. Here's the reality. You're going to miss days. Life happens, you get sick, things come up, plans fall apart. That's not failure. That's life. Missing once is human. Missing twice is the beginning of a new pattern. And that's what you have to protect against, because here's how it usually plays out. You miss one workout, fine. Life got in the way, then you miss a second, and suddenly your brain starts writing a new story. I used to work out. I'm slipping. Maybe I'm just not that kind of person. 2 misses becomes 3. 3 becomes a week. A week becomes I'll start fresh next month. And just like that, you've lost the habit. So here's the shift. Your job isn't perfection, it's damage control. If you miss a day, you don't spiral. You don't throw in the towel. You don't wait for Monday. You show up the very next day, no matter what. Missed your morning routine on Monday? Lock it in on Tuesday, even if it's just 5 minutes. Skipped studying on Wednesday? Thursday becomes non negotiable, even if you only review one page. Didn't hit the gym on Friday? Saturday, you're there, even if you just stretch. The goal isn't to never break the streak. The goal is to never let a break become a breakdown. Because consistency beats intensity. Always. A year of imperfect action beats a month of perfect action followed by 11 months of nothing. Never miss. Twice. Protect the pattern and watch how that one rule transforms everything. Step 4, builds a system around you. Here's what disciplined people understand that undisciplined people don't. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. If you're relying on motivation and grit to overpower a bad environment, you're going to lose. Every single time. Think about it. If your phone is next to your bed, buzzing with notifications, you're going to check it. If junk food is in your pantry, you're going to eat it. If your desk is buried in clutter, you're going to avoid sitting there. Your surroundings are constantly voting on who you become. And if the votes aren't in your favor, discipline becomes an uphill battle you'll eventually lose. So here's the framework. Remove friction for good habits. Add friction for bad habits. Install accountability systems. Remove friction. Make the disciplined action the path of least resistance. Want to work out in the morning? Sleep in your gym clothes? Want to read more? Put the book on your pillow? Want to study after school? Have your desk already cleared and set up. Add friction. Make the undisciplined action harder to access. Want to stop scrolling? Delete the apps, log out every single time. Want to avoid junk food? Don't buy it. Remove it from the house. Want to stop oversleeping? Put your alarm across the room. Install accountability. Use visual habit trackers. Set pre-committed deadlines with real stakes. Get an accountability partner who checks in on you. Use timers and blockers that remove the decision from your hands. The truth is this. You don't need superhuman willpower. You need an intelligent environment. Design your space, your schedule, and your system so that discipline is the default, not the exception. Because when the right action is easy and the wrong action is hard, you stop fighting yourself. And that's when transformation becomes inevitable. Step 5, the 24-hour rule. Here's a step that changes everything, and most people never hear it. The 24-hour rule. Make all commitments 24 hours in advance, then simply execute. Here's why this matters. When you make decisions in the moment, should I work out right now? Should I study tonight? Should I stay up late? You're at the mercy of your emotions. You're tired, you're stressed, you don't feel like it, you'd rather relax. An emotional brain always votes for comfort. That's not a character flaw, that's just how humans work. In the moment, your brain is wired to avoid discomfort and seek immediate relief. But here's the solution. Make decisions when you're calm and clear, then follow through when you're emotional. Every evening, plan tomorrow. Lock it in. What time you're waking up, what your first task is, when you're working out, when you're studying, what you're eating, write it down. Commit to it. Then tomorrow, you're not making decisions. You're following orders from yesterday's calm brain. This eliminates impulse, excuses, decision fatigue, emotional override. Here's an example. Tonight you decide, tomorrow at 6 a.m. I'm running for 20 minutes. Tomorrow at 5:59 a.m. you don't feel like it. But you're not asking yourself, should I? You already decided. Now you just execute. That's discipline, not a feeling, not motivation. Just a pre-made decision that you honor regardless of how you feel in the moment. Over time, this habit trains your brain to stop negotiating. You stop arguing with yourself every single day. And the mental energy you save gets redirected into actually doing the work. Plan in advance. Execute on autopilot. That's the 24-hour rule. Step 6, the reward system. Here's something most people get wrong about discipline. They think it has to be miserable, that if you're enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. But the truth is, sustainable discipline requires reinforcement. And reinforcement means rewarding yourself for showing up, not in ways that sabotage your progress, but in ways that anchor the feeling of accomplishment and make your brain want to repeat the behavior. Here's how to build it. First, celebrate small wins immediately. The moment you finish a disciplined action, workout done, study session complete, habit checked off, pause and acknowledge it. Out loud if you need to. I did that. I showed up. That's who I am. It sounds simple, almost silly, but this micro celebration creates a dopamine hit that tells your brain this behavior is worth repeating. Your brain is always looking for patterns. Actions that feel good get reinforced. Actions that feel bad get avoided. Second, build in meaningful rewards. After a week of consistency, give yourself something that matters. Not something that undoes your progress, but something that reinforces your identity. A new book, a long walk somewhere beautiful, time doing something you love, guilt free. The reward isn't a bribe, it's a signal. It tells your brain that this is the life we're building, and it feels good. Third, track visible progress. Use a habit tracker, a journal, a calendar with X's, something you can see that shows your consistency stacking up. Because every time you look at that unbroken chain, your brain gets a hit of pride. And pride fuels discipline in a way motivation never can. Here's the key: discipline doesn't have to feel like suffering, it can feel like momentum, like pride, like proof that you're becoming who you said you'd be. Reward the process, not just the outcome, and watch how much easier it becomes to keep going. Step 7: the weekly reset. Life piles up quietly: tasks, clutter, unfinished thoughts, and if you don't clear it, it becomes background noise that weighs you down without you even noticing. That's why one of the most powerful habits for long-term discipline is the weekly reset. Set aside just 30 minutes once a week to reset your life. It's not about perfection. It's about creating a clean slate so you can start the new week with clarity and momentum instead of carrying last week's chaos forward. Here's what a weekly reset looks like. First, review your week. What worked, what didn't, which habits stayed strong, and which slipped. No judgment, just pattern recognition. This is how you learn what strengthens your discipline and what breaks it. Second, clear the clutter. Tidy your space, sort your inbox, and put everything back in place. Physical mess creates mental mess, and mental mess makes discipline harder. Third, plan the week ahead. Check your calendar, block time for your priorities, and schedule workouts, studying, and deep work like real appointments. Discipline becomes a system, not a guess. Fourth, reconnect with your identity. Remember who you're becoming. Look at your habit tracker and revisit your identity anchors. A weekly reset brings you back to your bigger purpose. The weekly reset doesn't just reduce stress, it creates momentum. You stop always catching up. You stop feeling like you're drowning in tasks. Instead, you're starting ahead, lighter, more organized, more intentional, and that small shift changes how you experience the entire week. Let's lock this in. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's not a personality trait. It's not reserved for people who have their lives together. Discipline is a skill, and you just learn the system to build it. Let's recap the framework. Step 1, the identity shift. Become someone who keeps promises to yourself. Step 2, the 2-minute rule. Make it so small you can't say no. Step 3, never miss twice. Protect the pattern with damage control. Step 4, build a system. Design your environment to make discipline automatic. Step 5, the 24-hour rule. Decide in advance, execute on autopilot. Step 6, the reward system. Celebrate progress and anchor the feeling of accomplishment. Step 7, the weekly reset. Clear the clutter and start each week with clarity. These 7 steps aren't theory. They're a blueprint, a framework that works whether you're building discipline for fitness, studying, work, creativity, or just showing up as the person you want to be. The difference between the person stuck in cycles and the person who grows effortlessly isn't luck. It's that one of them has a system. And now, so do you. So here's the challenge. Pick one step, just one. Maybe it's anchoring a new identity statement. Maybe it's doing the 2-minute version of your habit today. Maybe it's planning tomorrow's schedule right now. Start small. Let it compound. Because months from now, you'll either look back and see how far you've grown, or you'll wish you had started today. Your future self is already waiting for you. They're just on the other side of consistent action. So go build the bridge, start today, stack the days, become undeniable. Let's go.